know I'm the real ordeal. Wanna roll with a dealer. This is so old school. You would have thought I was in Villa. Don't talk to feds, never been a squealer. I said talk to me, bro. They don't wanna talk to me, bro. Somebody bought 2 shots, now they wanna talk to a pro.
I would say like we got an urban legend in the building, man.
President
T, aka Prez T, man. What's going on?
Same old, another day, bro.
Another day?
Another day. Big things are happening right about now. Greatest to Ever Touch mixtape. Landing. Also, Back in My Face Volume 1. The classic mixtapes of all grime is out as well.
I think this is the most prolific we've seen you in a very long time. Like the visibility, man. I've been wanting this for a very long time.
Oh, no.
But you know, like a lot of people know you as, you know, Bloodline Associated, Meridian Crew, you know, even BBK Associated. You know, as brief as you can from the words of yourself, give us a brief history into the musical life of President T.
Well, basically, it all started a very long time ago with me as a young drum and bass MC on the circuit. Then it developed into the Meridian Crew, as you all know. And then obviously the Meridian Crew went into 2 different sections under the Meridian umbrella, Bloodline and BBK. And I took a gap out of music for quite some period of time because things that were going on in my life that I had to rectify and get sorted. But now I'm back and I'm not going nowhere.
I'm glad to hear that, you know, after the gap you ain't going nowhere. You know, like what worried us is with the gap, people wondered if you was going to ever come back though, because, you know, sometimes that gap could be a major injury. You know, that could take a man out. But you seem to have like gone away at varying times in your career. And the following's still there. You got this cult, hardcore fan base. Are you aware of that fan base?
Very aware of that. And, you know, big shout out to all my fans and, you know, 100% love to everyone that supported me and followed me throughout the years. And even if I went away for a short period, I know you must have thought, is Prez going to come back into this scene? But what made me spend most of my time on it now and keep it paramount that I do grime is that the fans that remember the old Prez T and the bars that I came out with, I would like to say that they were so legendary. They're even up to date with the times that we're in now. Very few MCs can actually do that, and I was one of them that can.
So let me ask you, when you was taking those gaps out, you know, because you had to get things right in your life, you know, life first, innit? Life over music, obviously. Gotta have your life first, your foundation straight. When you were sorting out those things and you was taking your time away from music, was it always a plan to come back, or was you getting to periods where you was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it back, you know?
No, there was always a plan to come back. It was definitely gonna happen at some point, but I wasn't sure when. And recently, well, in the last 9 months or so, I've had the perfect ideal management team behind me that's kind of helped to give me that extra push. And you can be an artist nowadays and MC all the bars you want and make all the tunes that you want. If you haven't got a plan how to get it to a higher platform or to reach out to the wider masses, it's not really going to go nowhere. And that's the plan that I had to put into place, and now it's in place. Thank God.
I'm so glad that you're back with the music now. And it's like the new project that we got, the greatest to ever touch down, right? Because we thought it was going to be the Stranger Returns.
Okay.
So, you know, tell us about that. If you change the title, is that a separate?
No, Stranger Returns is still coming. It's still going to be with the fans very shortly. Approximately first 2 to 3 weeks in January 2016. Also, the reason why it's not out now is because I've made the fans wait so long and anticipate so long for Stranger Returns. I felt like I kind of owed them something a bit extra. So Greatest to Ever Touch is like a starter pack for you to gear yourself up for Stranger Returns. And so, yeah, I think the fans will like it. I've put a lot of work into it. I've put a lot of energy and soul into Greatest to Ever Touch. So I hope the fans will like it.
Greatest to Ever Touch down. It's like, it's a very bold title. You ain't messing around with it. You know what I mean? Like some people would say, how dare he say this after not being very prolific in the game and you know, like maybe not even shooting too many videos. To find the actual Prez T video before this project, you're searching hard. So how dare he say this?
All I say to anyone that did come out with that, how dare I say that, challenge me and you'll find out if I'm the greatest to ever touch down or not. Like, I'm going back to the essence of grime. Shout out to all the kings of grime, all the kings that have been kings in the past, but I'm king now. And if you want the crown, you know what to do.
Now, one thing I have to say about you is that the flow and the voice is unmistakable.
Right.
Now, let's talk about the voice for starters, because I'm aware of your music from the early days. But I feel like you've gone further with it.
Right.
Like, it's got deep. It seems like it's got deeper.
It has got deeper. The voice and the flow was a character that I built myself, and I've wanted to progress that, develop it, and mature it. So I feel that I've done that in a big way. And the reason for concentrating on the voice and the flow as much is so that it couldn't be taken away from me, or no MCs can try and buy it and carry it off as theirs. A lot of MCs have tried. They've used the flow once or twice. Fair play. I'm flattered by it, but England and Europe should know that it's my flow and no one can do it like me.
Now talk to us about the flow. Definitely very unique. Definitely very spacey.
Yeah.
Like this ain't a frantic flow. This is a very digestible flow.
Yeah.
Very spacey.
Yeah.
Like you can understand it like from the beginning. How did you develop this flow? What inspired this flow?
I would say all the artists that I grew up listening to, I kind of like crammed them all together.
What are some of those artists?
It varies from Maxwell D to Bassman to Tupac. And in a sense, I kind of had to develop my own flow out of being a big listener to all those artists on a UK vibe, but still keep my own UK accent, because a lot of UK rappers have the American element to them. I can notice it. But I've always thought that I need to develop a flow that's original and that can't be taken away from me, or can't be said to people that you sound like him, or you sound like that guy or this guy. So
How hard was it for you to develop that flow?
It wasn't hard at all. It's very easy. The flow's part of my character as a person. So those of you that don't know the real person, President T, that is part of me as a person as well. So that's why my flow is like that.
Sick, man. I don't think I've ever said this to you. What do you actually prefer, President T or Prez T?
President T for the longest time. Prez T is just to shorten it down for my email address and all other things. Twitter @Prez_T, Instagram @Prez_T, but my name is President T, and I urge anyone who calls me out in the future to don't shorten it down. Keep it President T.
Why don't you start shutting it down? I'm not Prez T, I'm President T.
Recently, I've tried to get the message across through management, putting certain things out, and that they make sure it's President T. Sometimes when I do videos or something, the editor would put it up as Prez T, and I'd have to phone them up and say, "Yo, bro, no, I don't want that." You know what I mean? So
one of the only one-take guys in Britain left.
Yeah.
Now I was very surprised to hear you say that. One
Right.
of the only one-take guys in Britain left.
Yeah.
Do you do everything one take?
No. Most of my stuff is one take, because I make sure that I practice the lyric before I even enter the booth. Therefore, when I go into the booth, it's one take, rather than going into the booth, not really rehearsing the bar that much, and then doing 5-6 takes. So that's what I mean by one take guys in Britain left.
So basically, once you step into the booth, it's ready to go. There's no joking around.
No messing
Your
around.
studio cost must be low.
They're very high at the moment. Bills.
So are you say that you got a few projects in the stash. Are you recording a lot at the moment?
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, for the last 3 months, I've managed to get down 65 to 70 tracks approximately. So out of those tracks, I can pick out selective ones that I want to put on future projects. It was quite tiring in the studio day in, day out, sometimes till like 3-4 in the morning, but it's well worth it, and I'm glad that I've managed to put all those tracks down and lay them down, so I haven't got to keep worrying about what's coming out in the future. So I'm working in advance for my fans.
Don't mention T on the way. If you're not down with Kill Clay,